I've been tattooing about 20 years. I've lost count somewhere in there, so it's close to 20 years. Yeah. This year, my client Joe contacted me to tattoo her at the London Tattoo Convention. She wanted some type of warrior, like Nordic god, or she wanted a Nordic warrior. So I decided I wanted to do some type of god, you know, and eventually we'll do like waves crashing and like Viking ship and everything. But this year we're just doing 3 days straight on her leg. Piece is massive. It goes from her ankle all the way up her thigh to probably ending about her hip. I think we're about 16 hours in right now and counting. I think we have about 4 more today, so by weekend's end it should be about 20 hours. Yeah, tattooing at a convention is always more stressful. It's tough, just so many spectators, and sometimes you look up and you start sweating because there's so many people watching or so many distractions. And then obviously like the furniture isn't as comfortable, but there's also something like pretty, I can't, for lack of better terms, like magical about tattooing at a convention, especially this one. This is what I like to think of as like the Super Bowl or the World Cup of tattoo conventions. Europe, I always had this fascination with like the old masters paintings. So when I first got my passport and wanted to start doing tattoos, I was like, I want to go somewhere where they don't speak English. So, you know, I first went to Rome and Italy, and I used to travel a lot in Italy, and just all the old paintings, you know, from Caravaggio, sculptures, you know, Michelangelo, and then just all European artists in general has always had an impression, like I guess on my work, you could say. Yeah. I don't know or study much or know of too many photographers' names. I just know that like I tried to pick up photography just because I figured it would help with my tattoos and painting in general. I could study the pictures a little bit more. But I think like you know, when I was tattooing and I started seeing like Sean Barber's work, I was like, man, this guy tattoos and he can do that. And I was like, well, I want to learn how to paint. And so after taking like his workshop and private lessons with him, you know, he left a big influence in my career altogether. At first I started with photography, shooting like models and subject matter for tattooing and painting. And then, you know, I started, you know, you see like just when I was going outdoors, you see all these really beautiful like landscapes. And so I studied just how to take, per each trip I try and study, okay, how do you take pictures of outdoor mountains or wildlife? And then most recently I took a trip to Norway to see the Northern Lights. So that took a lot of studying and a whole lot of messing up. And then luckily the last night was the best night for the Northern Lights. So I had like enough experience and messed up photos to capture some good ones. So I really used to only work. You know, I would go and study museums and stuff. At maybe 2 or 3 years ago, we started trying to get more into nature. And I really wish I had done it sooner, because like to disconnect, clear the brain, has almost stimulated my mind even more. I think an important thing about tattooing or just art in general is and helping stay grounded is there's so many good artists. So to kind of walk around with any kind of big ego or big head is I don't know, I don't think it belongs, you know. There's way too many good artists, and every time I think I do a tattoo and I finish and I'm like, yeah, or a painting, you know, then I you know, if you look on the internet, which is really easy, it can be really good inspiration or really discouraging, whichever way you want to use it. You know, you just realize like there's other people doing amazing work, you know. So yeah, I try to live by that.